Today we will see what is the framework of writing a dissertation. Dissertation is a mini PhD thesis. This we have to understand. Why we call it a mini PhD thesis in comparison to the entire research work, PhD work? Because it takes smaller area and a smaller concept. And in PhD, we have a larger area in reference to geography and a larger concept. So let us see what is the framework, how do we write, how do we start. In the beginning, we have to select a topic. Now, how we will select a topic? The topic consists of two parts. Let us see. Framework of dissertation. First step is selection of a topic. Just now I told you, topic consists of two parts. A part is the concept and B part is the area. We also call it study area. Even we refer it as area of investigation. Okay, so selection of topic consists of concept and area. When you start with it in geography, first you will have to find out which branch is important and in which branch you feel that you have to do research work. For example, it could be economic geography, it could be urban geography, it could be settlement, rural, whatever. Even you can go deep down and have a micro level branch also. For example, we have many like this, settlement area, then one micro area, whatever you feel. Now my point is in selection of topic is that you should have your heart aligned to the topic and to the branch. If the topic does not touch your mind and thought and heart, you will not be able to justify with it. Why? Because unless and until we go delve down in it, we go deep into the topic, we go deep into the thought process, we cannot investigate it to the maximum. So, for example, suppose you have selected urban geography. Now the main branch of the topic will be urban geography. Okay. In urban geography, this has become the wider umbrella of your dissertation topic. Then you will go for the concept of urban geography. Any one concept you can choose. There are many concepts. The basic concept of the development of an urban center is explained by the theory of Christoller. So, any one concept you can choose in it, and there are many variables of urban geography. For example, transport, then is it urban center, city or a metropolitan city or a megalopolis, what it is. Then inside a city, you will go for different other indicators like transport, residences, market centers, then behavior, consumer behavior which impacts the urban center, and a number of variables. So in urban geography, supposingly this is the main, then second step we'll come to the concept. And in concept, suppose we have selected transport. So, transport is one of the indicators which explain urban geography. It is also one phenomena which speaks about urban geography. It could be one statistical variable also which explains about the urban geography, and in turn it explains the urban city, urban center. Okay, so we have selected transport. Transport becomes the concept of your topic. Then the second is the area. Now this transport will be studied in which area? That will be your study area and that will be your area of investigation. So if we take, because all of you are, I mean the community to which I am addressing is a community which resides in urban area. So we can take any city. Suppose we take Lucknow. Transport of Lucknow city. Transport of metropolitan city dash Lucknow. Transport of cosmo-metropolitan city Lucknow. Transport of the fringe area of Lucknow. Transport of the umland area of Lucknow. These are different other topics which we could select for the research work for dissertation. I hope this much is clear. Then let us take example that we have selected transport of fringe area or transport of umland. Now the topic frames like this: study of transport in the fringe area of Lucknow city. Study of transport in the fringe area of Lucknow city. Let me write it and then I will take it. Study of transport in the fringe area of Lucknow. Transport, here comes your concept and here comes the area of investigation. Transport is the concept of the dissertation topic and fringe area is the area of investigation or study area. Now when you will, this is the selection process, how you will select. Then when you will start writing dissertation, then what will be the framework of that dissertation? When you will write it. In writing, the first chapter will be of introduction. Introduction engulfs how this process is carried out, the entire process. Initial 4, 5, 8 lines will discuss about urban geography. Then you will write how you have selected this topic of study of transport in the fringe area of Lucknow. In the introduction could be a chapter figured out or it could be only an introduction part as the topic suggests, so you will go forward. So first is introduction. In introduction, 4, 5 lines will be about urban geography. I am writing in short. Urban geography. Then in continuation, B will be selection process includes selection of the concept and selection of the fringe area. Then you will write C part will be what objective you will deal with. Now here comes a wide difference between a PhD thesis and a dissertation thesis. In dissertation, we take small objectives because objectives you have to, the data collection in the field will depend on the objective, and the proof and the action plan further and the conclusion will depend on the objective. So in dissertation, the objective will be small. In PhD thesis, we take big objectives and then we prove it and then we go about the chapters. So there could be one or two objectives for dissertation work. Then comes hypothesis. Now, it's not necessary that every dissertation work will have hypothesis. It depends on the topic and the branch which you have selected. If it requires hypothesis to be proved, then you can take hypothesis or you can build up hypothesis. If it does not require hypothesis, then you will leave it. Clear? Hypothesis, this is only one in dissertation work. You can have 2, 3, 4 hypotheses, but it needs to be proved. And proving a hypothesis requires lot of data collection work, data processing work, and statistical tools are also involved in it. So because dissertation is for 1 year period, to be completed in 1 year, and in the semester system it is to be completed in 5-6 months. So it does not give you so much time that you can collect 2, 3, 4 hypotheses and then you can formulate 2, 3, 4 hypotheses and then prove it. So we restrict it to 1 hypothesis. Maybe if the topic is requiring, you can have 2, but I suggest not more than 2. Okay, so 1 or 2 hypotheses is selected. Then the E part is methodology. How you will go for this selection process. Okay, what methodology you will adopt? In methodology, we explain like when we start. Ideal methodological explanation I am giving you. We tell here that the research depends on data. 2 types of data, primary data and secondary data. Primary data, when we go in the field, we formulate questionnaires, we formulate interview sessions, we observe area sometimes, and then we collect data from the field. In secondary data, we use already published data by any government or non-government agency. Even sometimes the universities and the research organizations and institutions also publish data time to time. So if we are using that data, it also comes under the purview of secondary data. So either we use primary data or we use secondary data, or we can use a blended form of primary and secondary data. Again, this data type and methodology depends on what objective and hypothesis we have selected. Then after the type of deciding the type of data, we come, how do we process the data? Now in processing, you can have a general classification and you can have statistical processing methods also involved in it. General classification means simply we take a population, for example, population if we are doing, we take a population data of 1 or 2 years, compare it, see the 1000 data, we compare it and we go about it. But when statistical explanation is involved, then we process that secondary data, we group it, or we use ungrouped data. That is again a purview of statistical tools. So we process it and then we use it. Okay. Then in methodology, we also tell how we will map the area, then how we will prepare map analysis, what tools we are going to use it. In geography, often we use GIS methods, then we use mean median mode, which are statistical tools to be used. Then we use different deviation methods. It depends on what is your topic, what is your branch, what kind of data is available to you, and what research you are going to conduct on it. Okay, so then after methodology, we write literature review. Now, this literature review is very important because it has given you a base to select the branch that, for example, here we are dealing with urban geography. Then it gives you the base for the main concept, that is transport, and then it gives you the base for the study area or the area under investigation. When we decide that we have to go for urban geography, then we start reading literature related to urban geography. Whatever you read and you study under the umbrella of urban geography comes under literature review. Whatever you read, it is not necessary that literature you are using for your topic. Suppose your area is Lucknow and you have studied urban geography, literature related to urban geography of Delhi, of Mumbai, of New York, of Chicago, of Paris, of London. These are certain cities, important cities of the world, of Chennai, of any city, you name it and you take it. Okay, so if you have studied literature on that, that is also analyzed under the head of literature review. Okay, now here for this dissertation topic, the literature review will be divided into different classes when you will write here. First literature review will be on transport. What literature is available on transport? Okay, now you can make it a point as F1, national level literature, F2, because F is this literature review. So F1, national level literature on transport, and F2, national level literature, international level literature on transport. Then the second is available in Lucknow. So literature available on the transport of Lucknow at national level and literature available on the transport of Lucknow at international level. Okay, so this all will come under literature review in short. Followed, not explaining but writing that this kind of literature is available. Clear? Then after literature we come for what chapters we will frame for this topic? How many chapters and what chapters we will frame? What will be the heading of those chapters? So approximately you can frame 3 or 4 chapters for dissertation in this topic. First chapter could be the physiographic features of Lucknow. I'm giving you the example. It could be different also. Or physical milieu of Lucknow city. Or first you write physiographic features of Lucknow city, and then underneath you write physiography of the fringe area of Lucknow city. Okay, this could be the first chapter. Then second chapter, the population of Lucknow city and the fringe area of Lucknow city. Why we need to discuss population in detail? Because there are other indicators of population which explain the dynamics of a population. Which indicators are those? Migration, age and sex ratio, religion structure, then age structure, then sex structure, everything comes under this. And the population directly impacts transport. Clear? So that's why we have to deal with population in detail for this dissertation work. And then after population, you can have other variables. For example, the infrastructure of the fringe area of Lucknow city, then the availability of communication in the fringe area of Lucknow city. All these can be included in the second chapter, and you can in the third chapter. Second chapter is the physiographic feature, third is the population. Then you come on transport, the condition of transport. So when you will deal with the chapter transport, you will write whatever you have studied and whatever you have observed based on secondary data. Then you can go for further analysis, like you can have transport flow also, you can have traffic flow, you can see the condition of the fringe, then you can see the road also, what kind of roads are there, how do we deal with it if it is not good, how many types of roads are there in the fringe area of Lucknow, all this you will mention over there. Okay, then you will, and in mid you will keep on analyzing if you have field data. So you will keep on analyzing that field data also. Okay, and then comes the conclusion. Got it? Conclusion. This conclusion will show that how you have dealt with this topic and what kind of action and implementation is required for a good transport system in the fringe area of Lucknow. Okay, so this will be in conclusion. Then you can, in conclusion only, you can have suggestions if you want. Otherwise, you can put the problems and suggestions in the conclusion. You can have a separate chapter of problems and suggestions, or you can include it in conclusion as the data availability and as the research which you have done is requiring or is needing. Accordingly, you will do it. Okay, so these are certain frameworks, these are certain headings, and these are certain classifications based on which you will do your dissertation work. Then in between, I want to emphasize over here that every chapter will have a reference section. So in reference, what do? We write the name of that literature from which we have selected the statement and directly mentioned it in our dissertation work. So every chapter will have reference. What will be the sequence of the reference? It depends on how you have mentioned it in your chapter. Clear? Now the end of the dissertation will have bibliography. What is the difference in reference and bibliography? Why do we put reference after the chapter and why we put bibliography in the end? Because bibliography includes or it engulfs all the literature which you have studied for this dissertation work. Every book, every journal, every website which you have consulted, every observation which you have gone through, every gazetteer system which you have gone through will come under every newspaper cutting. It will be kept under the head bibliography, and bibliography is in alphabetical order. Reference only includes that literature from where you have cited the statement in your chapter. If you have directly taken one statement from one book and directly written as it is in your chapter, that will come under reference. The entire literature will not be written in reference. This is the difference in bibliography and references. And then in the end, we write appendices. What is appendices? It is a larger form of data. For example, if you are dealing with population data and the population of 50 years of every decade, so you will have of 50 years, so you will have 5 large series of population data. Now the entire large series is not important to mention in between the chapter. What you will do, you will take the summation of that large series, mention it or write it or explain it in your chapter, and then the series will be mentioned in the appendices. So that if anybody is going through the population data, can see the summation in the chapter, and if wants to take reference of the entire series of data of 50 years, can go in the appendices and take it from there. I hope this framework of dissertation is clear to you. If it's not, then you can ask questions on this, and then we can have another session of your problem solving. It could be referred as problem solving session.